Hi, and welcome to HUR at Home. We are back. That hiatus seemed to take a long time, didn't it? It was amazing. It was a nice little break, but you know what? We did not miss you, we did miss you. We did not think about you for a minute. That's what I'm trying to say. And we are not stopping with bringing you the best in entertainment, including my cat Jasper, who you'll hear in the background. We thought we'd start off with someone who is so dynamic. We love her music. We were playing her new single, All I Want, and she is just amazing. So beautiful and so sweet. Please welcome SuCh.
Hi.
Hi. Oh my gosh. You know what? It seems like it's been forever since we've been on this platform. I love this. Every week we bring different artists, as you know, and I'm so happy that you're joining us tonight. How are you doing, lady?
I'm good. I'm doing really, really good. And I'm so glad to be here with you, really.
I am so happy to be here with you. As you know, we've been rocking with you for a very long time, since
you have
Sugar Maple.
That's right.
Sugar Maple on
Sugar
Pillow
Maple.
Talk on WHUR.
That's right.
And, you know, for those who are just getting to know you and just getting to know your music, you've got such a beautiful voice, and your vibe is just so organic. And when you sing, I mean, I've heard you sing a cappella, you know, and of course on your songs. Where did all of this come from? You know, where did the whole singing SuCh start?
Well, I grew up singing in church. My dad's a pastor, so I would say that was probably where it all began. But I didn't know, growing up, I didn't know any entertainers. I didn't even know that it could be really a profession. Until when I was 15, I auditioned for a group called the Grammy High School Jazz Ensembles, which I think now is called Grammy Band. And so I auditioned for it. Where basically it's like high school students from all over the country. If you get in, you get a 10-day all expenses paid trip to LA, and you get to perform at different jazz clubs in LA. You record a whole album, and you get to go, you perform at the Grammy nominee party, and then you get to go to the Grammys. Okay.
That's nice.
So
That's nice.
It was such a cool experience. I auditioned, I made it in.
And you're 15?
At 15. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I think that was the first time that I was like, oh my gosh, I could do this. It was crazy. It was hectic, but it was totally a slice of a musician's life. And I was like, I love this. And, you know, up until that point, I had only been a girl who could sing. All the other kids that were there, some of them were on like their second or third album. They all went to performing arts high schools. Like they all knew they were going to be musicians. And I was like,
a little
I just like to
intimidating.
Sing. Yeah,
right.
Totally intimidating, but still so rewarding and amazing. And so after that experience, I came back and I looked up like the closest performing arts high school, and I did a whole PowerPoint presentation for my parents about how
my goodness. I love that. You're like, look, Mom, Dad, this is what I want to do. This is why I'm going to be. And your parents are Haitian.
Yes, they are. Yes. And yeah, no, they shot that.
I mean, I only say that because, they're culturally, I mean, they probably had other ideas of what they
they were like, right. They're like, we don't need to be a struggling musician. Like, that's not what we need right now. So just at that point, I was like, okay, so then music will be my outlet. And so I kept directing choirs and praise teams, and I got 2 degrees that I don't work in. My first degree was in exercise science, pre-physical therapy. I wanted to be a physical therapist. And then my second degree is nursing. So I was a nurse for 4 years. And then
but in a way, I see both of those kind of playing out. I mean, you are in killer shape. You're always in the gym, always working out, and you've got a very nurturing type of spirit.
You know, thank you. I really feel, you know, a lot of times people are like, nursing, singing, I don't see the connection. But I think for me, it's all wrapped up in one. I love connection, like human connection with people, and I love taking care of people. And I feel like I've just transferred that from, you know, nursing to music. And it feels like it's all one and the same. Yeah, it doesn't feel
music is a healer.
It really does. It really is. And it really just feels the same to me. So I would say one of the biggest catalysts was definitely when the earthquake hit Haiti. I went down there as a nurse in 2010. And I think that was really the moment where I was like, yo, life is really short. I've always known that music is my thing. I have zero connections and I don't know what I'm doing, but the desire was greater than the fear. So when I came back, I spent like 8 weeks in Haiti. And when I came back, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I don't know how. I'm gonna phase out my nursing job and I'm gonna, just up singing somehow. My whole very first album, which a lot of people don't know about, was recorded in my basement. It's called Stretch Marks.
Didn't know that?
Yeah, yep. And I listen, and when I listen to it, I'm like, ooh, and I cringe and everything. But just I would make completely different choices vocally and whatever else and production wise. But I am so proud of myself because that version of me, like she was not afraid to step out and do it. And there's no way that you can improve on nothing. So you have to create. And I think sometimes, especially as creatives, we get so caught up and like we want it to be perfect the first time.
Yeah. But you know what you said is so powerful in anything that people are pursuing. Just start.
Just start.
Just do something and bless it. It might not be perfect, but keep going. And that's what you've been doing.
Exactly.
I know you came on a lot of our radar when you bravely tried out for American Idol. Tell us about that experience. How old were you then?
I was, what was that? That was 20. Oh, that was like 10 years ago. So I was 26. Okay. Yeah. That was 2011, 2012. So, it was an amazing experience. It really was, I think, the defining experience for me to know that there was really nothing that was going to stop me from doing this. I think up until that point, I had been really scared of embarking on my musical journey and being a singer because I was afraid that hearing a no would somehow crush my dream and it would just make me feel like I couldn't do it. And so
that's a strange and frightening platform.
Yeah.
Just watching some of the no's and they could be
you're
really
like,
crushing.
Right. And
they don't just say no, but they tell you all the reasons why you shouldn't be singing.
That's so true. That's so true. And so I think that it was that experience that made me realize that like, okay, so let me just tell you about it. First off, it was really amazing. They, a lot of times with these shows, they show that like everybody is, at each other's throat and it's super competition. Yeah. But what they don't show you is that there were amazing jam sessions. You make lifelong friends. Like I have made some amazing friends from my time on American Idol.
Still in contact with them?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Actually, one of my friends, Matheny, he's an incredible singer. He actually does a lot of musical theater and he was in Hamilton, like the touring version. Yeah. And we did a song together on my Trial and Error album, the album that has Sugar Maple on it. He is amazing and phenomenal. And I absolutely love him. So yeah, like just that, for example. And he actually played.
And you guys have that in common because you were Celie in The Color Purple.
Well, let me tell you, it was because of him. And let me tell you why. Okay, so I'll just set the stage for you.
I know we're skipping around.
I know, but let me tell you, it was literally because of him. So I made it to the end of Hollywood Week where I got to perform with the band solo. So it was the first time that like I got to perform with the band and I did Someone Like You, Adele's Someone Like You. And when you perform in front of all of the judges and all of the contestants. They're there too. Oh. And yeah.
Oh goodness.
Just perform for everybody, right?
Yeah, just go for it.
Exactly. So after I sang, I remember I got off the stage and he was there and he was like, "Do you do musical theater?" I was like, "No, I can't act." He's like, "I think you should do musical theater." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, you know what I mean? It went in one ear and out the other. And it turns out, so we met in LA, but it turns out that he also lived in Colorado, like literally not that far away from me. It was crazy. And so, we became friends and he went to Carnegie Mellon. So he has a degree in musical theater. And later on, a director came to one of my shows and was like, "Hey, I'm going to be doing like the regional premiere of Celie of The Color Purple. I want you to audition." And I was like, this is really weird. Okay, so now two people have, brought up this whole musical theater thing to me. And I don't know, maybe I should, dibble dabble in it. And so maybe. I had no idea what the process was like, what auditioning was like, what callbacks would be like. And so I called up Matheny and I was like, "Help me audition, help me prepare for this." And he really did. And then I got it. And I was like, oh my gosh. So
Oh my goodness. I love this.
yeah.
And listen, the comment section, thank you guys for commenting. Stephanie said, hey, Angela, excuse me. Hey, Angela, she does have a beautiful voice.
Oh,
Michael, such love her voice. Mark, such. I always share her posts. Oh, he wants
oh,
to book you to sing.
oh, yes, absolutely. Let's make it happen.
Isabella says, hello from Dubai. That's my
Dubai.
girl. Dubai. I
Hi.
gotta get there one day.
I need
We're
to get
hanging out with you, Isabella.
Yes.
Jonathan says hello. And I love you sharing your story. I am like right there with you. I do believe that God has his or her hand, however
Mhm.
that is in your life. And,
Absolutely.
and from American Idol, that is when, you recorded, is that when you recorded your next CD?
Yeah, that's when I recorded. That's actually when I recorded my first album so basically when I came back from American Idol, I quit my nursing job and they all were not surprised. They were
It's
like,
I'm a singer.
yeah, they
I'm
were
a
like,
singer.
we do.
Oh,
They were
they
like,
did? They did.
Yeah, they're like, bye. Yeah, they were like,
They
we
were
know.
waiting. It's just a matter of time.
Exactly. And so, yeah, like not having any connections, not knowing really what I was doing. I did, the whole first album. And I remember I booked my whole first tour by myself. I just called venues. Yeah. Like I must have reached out to like, I want to say somewhere between 600 to like 800 venues. And
oh my goodness.
Literally. Yeah. And what has been so cool about it, like you said, just the universe, God has just really worked it out in which the right people came into my life at the right time. And it's really been a beautiful journey. And I wouldn't change it for the world. Yeah.
I am just so happy for you. And I feel like I've been in on it from close to the beginning.
Yes,
I've been right there cheering you on and following your career and just really celebrating you. This is to you, SuCh.
Oh, thank you.
It's lemon soda, but nevertheless, let's pretend it's champagne.
I was like, hey, no.
This is exactly. Oh my goodness. So, all right, bring us up to, and I love the name of your CD. I always get it backwards though. Wide Nose, Full Lips.
That's right. Yeah.
And why that beautiful name? I love that.
Oh my goodness. I really feel like, I think it was birthed from this. When I was about 6 or 7, I had a family member who told me that I needed to sort of pinch my nose, that it was too wide and that it wasn't, pretty enough. And so I think that's something that I ended up internalizing, especially when you hear things like this as a kid. You're just like, okay, so
yeah, what's wrong with my nose?
Right, my nose is really wide. Exactly. It's really, all these different things. And so,
and why is that bad? You internalize all of that stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. And so this album is like a love letter to myself and also a love letter to Blackness and just embracing all the things that make me me. So I feel like I fell in love with myself on the discovery of this album. I was so intentional about, even when I was recording it, I never recorded it while I was in a bad mood. I always recorded while I was feeling myself. Like I just felt like I was on the highest frequency at all times. I was like, hey, if I could feel my, my energy dipping or my vibe, I'd be like, okay, we're just gonna take a break. So I was really intentional about that. And just enjoyed every facet of myself. So that's why I say it's like a love letter to myself and also to Blackness. I think I really fell in love with all the things that make me me. And I hope in turn that it gives people the freedom and the liberty to fall in love with themselves and all the things.
Oh, absolutely. Because we come in all shades, all colors, all shapes. And for us to finally embrace our Blackness, long hair, short hair, light skin, dark skin, all of us, that we're beautiful people.
That's right.
I applaud that. Monica feels the same way. She said, that is awesome.
Oh,
thank you,
thanks,
Monica.
Yeah.
And, but I want to ask you what sparked that? I mean, because, like you said, you were told that as a little girl. What flipped it for you and made you decide to record?
Yeah, record. I think what was happening was, as an artist, I have to be able to live for me to be able to write. It's one of those things where I have to sort of soak up what's going on around me. I'm a really good ear hustler. I love listening to conversations like in poetry. I'm like, ooh, that would make a good song. You know what I mean? Or whatever. But also a lot of this was pre-pandemic also. And so there was still a lot of police brutality and with Philando Castile and all these different things. And I remember that Philando Castile's, the cop that did shoot him, had described him as having a wide nose. And there was something about that just like triggered something for me where I was like, that's being a Black person. Like, what do you mean? Like a wide nose? Like this was the defining, feature. And so I was thinking about how, I had really grown up not really believing that I was beautiful and that it had taken me some time to get there. And I wanted an album that would just represent all the different facets of me, all the different roles that I play, and just was a very holistic picture of who I am. And also as an artist, I feel like with every song, I fall more into who I am as an artist. Like I discover new things, and there's just this so there was an excitement as I was discovering new things about myself and feeling,
feeling myself. You know what? And I just want to say thank you. Just for the culture, just doing that. Everyone who hears it can appreciate it. Just hearing the title alone of your project, it just brings happy feelings. Stephanie said, "SuCh, you have such a beautiful smile."
Oh,
Roger,
thank you. Even with my braces,
you really do.
These braces, though.
Oh yeah, it makes you look even younger, though. The braces make you look even younger.
I know.
She's Benjamin Buttons. I mean, you're very young.
Look at you, Angela. You look good. So please.
I love you, SuCh. Thank you. Roger writes something very interesting, and I totally agree. Unfortunately, within families, we have family members unintentionally or intentionally making hurtful comments, whether about your darkness, your lightness, your thick lips. When you hear it as a youngin', you carry it on into. I mean, I had family members, my sisters, I've always had, long hair. My sister does not have long hair. And people would say, "Oh, you've got good hair." And I'm like, that never sat well. My mom would straighten everybody out like quickly.
I know that's right.
It's good hair. We have hair. It's good hair.
That's right.
It's curly. It's good. It's long. It's good. It's short. It's good hair.
That's right.
What is that?
I know. That, like you said, colorism. I mean, there are just
colorism. Separatism. It's like things that unfortunately we do within our own race to separate us from each other.
And I think one of the most beautiful things about the rainbow of Black shades is just that, like how we are so diverse amongst ourselves. And that is beautiful.
It is beautiful. It really is. That's the thing. I think, we're finally getting to a place, most of us, where we're recognizing our beauty, our big hips, our wide noses, our full figures, our, our curves. We're embracing our short hair, our long hair, our whatever it is. We're embracing our Blackness, and we're not looking outside of ourselves for the validation.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
Yes. And, for that reason, that's another reason why I just absolutely love what you're doing as an artist, writing from what's going on in the world. I mean, we rely on the artist to do that, to draw from that and make it make sense, to make it make sense.
Yeah.
Isabella said she loves Before Dark.
I love Before Dark.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Before Dark. That's my jam.
That is it. And tell us the story, because I remember one time you came in, I was hosting the Quiet Storm, and I think I played that, and you came in and you told me the story of Before Dark. I think it was a long distance relation. Tell us the story of that. That's right.
Listen, Angela, you got like the best memory.
I know you. I love you.
So yes, exactly that. If any of y'all have been in a long distance relationship, you know that it sucks. It's hard. Yeah, it's not the easiest thing. But there is something so exciting about when you guys get together. There's that electricity, there's that charge where you're like, "Ooh, just one more, just one last," you know what I mean? And a lot of stuff usually happens after dark, but you can't even wait. That's why it's about before dark.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about.
Listen.
You're like, baby, we don't have to wait.
We ain't waiting. Right.
Wait.
Right. Yeah.
I've been waiting so long. It's long distance. We're here.
That's right. Yeah. That's what it's all
You
about.
hear that, Isabella? That's the story behind that song you love
Yes.
so much. Yeah, that's good. The story is just as good as the song. So tell us about All I Want. What is the story behind that? Tell us what you were going through when you wrote it. All of it.
Okay, so the cool thing about All I Want is that sometimes I feel like songs are already in existence and I just have to tune myself to the right frequency so I can catch them. And
I love that.
because I feel like they're already there. All I Want, here's what's really crazy. And then sometimes, my producer will play something or he'll come up with the accompaniment first, and I'll write several songs to the same accompaniment, which is really interesting. So originally,
it is.
Yeah.
That's
So originally there's a song on my album called Don't Matter What They Say. And I wrote to that accompaniment, Don't Matter What They Say, and also All I Want. I just didn't know that it was All I Want yet. I just wrote two different things. And I sent the song, the two different versions to different family members and friends just to get and they took a poll and they were like, oh, we feel like it's better as this song. Oh, we feel like it's better as that song. And, in my heart, it's really important for a song to be the best version of itself and for it to be its authentic self. And so that song became Don't Matter What They Say. And then I forgot about All I Want. I forgot about the song. Okay. And then one day my producer sent me the track to All I Want. And I was like, oh, it's that song. I just knew. I was like, yo, let me look through, all my notes of whatever else. I was like, this is the song that it was meant to be. And so it just came.
You're just giving me goose pimples. I love that.
This is what it was supposed to be. That's what it was for. I just didn't know it yet. And so as soon as I heard, the track, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. And the melody shifted a little bit, but the lyrics stayed the same. And what was really cool. So usually when I write songs, it's really a labor of love for me. I'm not really that person who can write songs in 20 minutes. I wish I was. I'm not usually. I usually take a long time. I go back to it. I fine tune it, that sort of thing. But I remember when I wrote the lyrics to All I Want, and it was completely dark in my house. Everybody was asleep. I was the only one who was awake. And I just remember feeling like I was a vessel and just it was flowing. I really did write that song very quickly.
Wow.
And the first, line, let's play some chess, truth or dare. I was like, oh, that's clever.
I love that.
I remember I was like, oh, this is great. And then I went to sleep, and then I was like, because sometimes you think that you're killing it, and then you sleep on it
in the middle of the night. You're like,
that was not that good.
Right, that's some hot garbage right there.
Right, ooh, what was happening last night? But then I woke up the next day, and I was like, oh no, this was really good. So, that song was really me just delving into playful and lyrical ways to play with my sexuality and just figure out really cool ways to describe things. And it's has a very lilting, laid back melody. It was just a really, really fun, sensual song to write. I enjoyed that.
Oh, that's so, and it catches you right away. Now, I am a chess player. So as soon as I heard the song, I was like, ooh, and I love playing it with my sweetie pie. So it's
now.
Things that you can do together. You know what I mean? When you hear that song, when you hear that, you're like, ooh, yeah. The playfulness, the sexiness of it. I love it. And I love your process. You're also, have people told you you're just a really good storyteller?
Oh,
when you get us all we're all and then what?
Oh my gosh, thank you. I think I get it from my mom. she is the best storyteller. Like her bedtime stories were it in my household. Like she would take us on a journey. But yeah,
Well, that's a good thing for
yeah.
a songwriter to be able to tell a good story. That's so important.
Aw, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good stuff. I mean, so here you are, you're living the dream. You knew you were going to do this. You knew that no matter what, this is what you wanted to do. Is there something next? Like, you've got this new project that everybody loves. Is there something that you're like, okay, so I've done Broadway, I've done you've done theater,
Yeah,
and you've done the music, this music. Is there a next project that you're already working on? Are there artists that you want to work with? Is there a place you want to perform that you haven't performed yet?
Oh my goodness.
What are the dreams?
What are the things that I want to experience? I mean, I
Yes.
everything. I think one of the coolest things about being an artist is being able to travel and perform in different places. So I would literally.
Now we can travel.
I know, right? I know. It's been rough.
It's been rough.
But yeah, I think one thing, like I said, like for me to be able, everything influences me. So travel is so important to me. And I feel like going to different places, experiencing different cultures, and interacting with people who, they view life from a different standpoint is so important for me and my artistry, but also really fills my soul. So I'd love to perform in all the places. That's like one thing that I would love to. One of the best shows that I've ever had was in Colombia. And
ooh,
yeah.
Wow. That's on my list. What made it so great?
The fact, because I was really nervous, because as you can tell, I'm sort of talkative when I perform, and so I like to like break songs down and all these different things, and I get the audience involved. And I was like, yo, I don't speak Spanish, so how are they going to be connected to me, right? Like that was like and I think that was one of the times in which I was like, oh my gosh, music really is universal. It was as if there wasn't a language barrier, and even though they didn't know my music, I mean, by the end, I just felt so connected to them. It was beautiful. And I was like, this is why I do what I do. Like, this is it, So I think more of those experiences just fill me up. I definitely want to do more acting. I actually really enjoy acting.
That's what I was wondering. If you're that's what I was kind of getting at.
Yeah,
I would love to go. Like film? Like, do you want to?
I also do commercials and stuff. Yeah, so I also do commercials. So I would love to do film. I enjoy acting. I had no idea. So I think that's definitely something that I'm going to pursue for sure. As far as and I'm always going to do music. I have, I'm working on new things when it comes to music, of course, working on new music. So I'm excited about that too.
Okay. I won't push.
And I think I'm just really excited about discovering all the new artistry that I can, because I feel like what music has done for me has opened me up and not made me feel like I can only do one thing. That there are many things, and that they're not necessarily contradictory. Like it's all me. Yeah. So it's exciting.
I agree. Yeah, and I think they kind of feed each other.
Yes.
As a creative person.
Exactly.
Matheny knew, he
did. I don't know how he knew.
And the singing and the acting, it all goes together.
It does. It does.
Oh, and that's beautiful.
It's really been just awesome sauce.
It's awesome sauce. You're awesome sauce. I'm so excited for you. I mean, if you feel like singing a little bit, I'm just springing this on you right now. Sure. If you wanted to leave us with a little something inspiring, I've heard you sing a cappella, and I'm always that girl can sing.
What do you want me to sing? Do you want to sing a little bit of All I Want?
Yes, please. Okay.
Let's play some chess, truth or dare. Under the covers, brown skin bare. Your body's on mine. Let's take time. Forget the past, it's just a celeste. All I want is you. All I need is you. Fly me to the moon. All I want is you. All I need is you. All I want is you. All I need. Fly me to the moon, baby. All I want is you.
Yes. Oh my goodness, that was so beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
That is so beautiful. SuCh. I'm sure you would have made an incredible nurse, but thank you for walking out of that job and giving us what we need.
Aww.
That is beautiful. Keep singing, keep writing, keep being your beautiful self. We will keep on, I will never stop following you and just lifting you up. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And and so just wanted to say, I'm super active on social media. So if anybody reaches out to me, I will respond, and you can find me at I am SuCh. And so I'm just excited to be here. Yeah, at I am SuCh, and I will talk to you. Angela knows.
Yes, she really does. She responds always. I am SuCh on all platforms. Thank you so much. Jonathan said you have a beautiful voice, SuCh.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Totally agree with that.
I don't take that for granted. You know what I mean? Because the reality is that it really is an honor to be able to, put what you guys are feeling in song. And then, hope that you're able to jam to it, that you feel it, and that it's an accurate description of what you're feeling. So,
absolutely. Oh, we feel it. And SuCh, keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for what you do. And thanks for joining us tonight. This has really been a treat. And what a way for us to come back from our hiatus. I knew it was going to be great. Thank you, love.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And thank you all for joining us. HUR at home. We are back. So don't forget, go to WHUR.com. You can actually see this interview again. Of course, we're going to post it. Keep it up there forever. Keep it up on our YouTube page forever. Keep it up on Facebook. And every Thursday night, we're always going to have an artist that we know you're going to love. Don't forget, Wednesday night, we have Ladies Night. Actually, almost every night of the week, we've got something. So WHUR.com, and you'll see our lineup. And thanks for keeping us the #1 music station in the DMV, 96.3 WHUR. I will see you Sunday night right after Manzi Pullen and the original Quiet Storm on Pillow Talk with Angela on WHUR. Have a good night.